So now we are react to for me the newest video from Nathan Elson. He's a really cool photographer. I like the way he think about light and everything. And yeah, he published right now a video on YouTube with three light studio setups for high key. That's really cool. High key can be boring. High key can be dramatic and amazing. High key can be everything. So as almost everything on YouTube and in photography. So I'm really looking forward to watch this movie with you. And yeah, don't waste time and let's start to the newest video of Nathan Elson and let's learn something about uh, nice high key photography.
Hey there everybody, Nathan Elson here. Welcome to the first video of 2024. Now today I'm going to talk to you about using three lights in the studio to create high key portraits. Now the whole idea of a three light setup has become a huge part of my photography arsenal, and oftentimes
Looks for the first thing really nice. I would guess, without seeing any results out of the video, I would guess that this light setup is my favorite. When I only see the lights, I would say this is exactly my type with this modifier. And yeah, when I just see how the modifier and the lights and the flash stands, I guess these photos are my favorites, and that have nothing to do that the model is here without clothes on the top. So
when you
let's
think
go
about high
further.
key portraits, you picture, bright.
Ah, perfect. That's the best example for a really nice high key picture. I do this here in the studio also often, but I do it a little bit different. I have a really nice big light modifier, and then I put all. That's the easiest way to make high key. Then I put a model in front of this big modifier and set up a light directly from front, and have then not the same results, but nearly the same results, but still not so good as this because here what I like on the picture is that the face is the highest. Yeah, no, the shoulder also a bit, but you see with the key light, you see it's really perfect, soft, nice shadows, and yeah, it's a little bit too bright maybe, but this is you can easily fix this on Photoshop. But out of cam, really nice picture. So we're looking forward.
Airy, beautiful, kind of contrasty high key portraits, and I'm going to show
Contrast
you
high key
how I create those.
portraits.
But not only that, I'm going to show you how I also use that three light setup to create an image that's got a lot more intrigue. It's a little bit darker, a little bit moodier, but we're still using the exact same gear. It'll make a lot more sense once we get.
So that means you build up a light setup and you get three different moods out of this, or three different pictures out of this light setup. That's handy because that means you don't have to build so much. And yeah, that's a really nice, really cool.
Into the actual video. So with that being said, let's just get into it. Now, when it comes to shooting on a white backdrop, especially a pure white backdrop, there's a few different fundamentals that you need to understand in order to pull this off correctly. And the first thing is that your backdrop needs to actually be overexposed by about 1 to
Yeah, overexposed is the right word. And also, it is, I guess, really important on this image that the backdrop is also on the floor because everything would white reflect now the light. And yeah, you get a really filling light. That's really cool. And also important for me is white or black clothes or red or something what is really a good color so that it really catch your eyes. Something like, yeah, I don't know, a brown or something like this would not fit so good. So white, black, red, perfect for the outfits for a light like this.
1.5 stops over your key light. Now, what that means is if your key light is metered to say f8 at ISO 100, That
Yeah, that's cool that he say this now. That's as a you. It doesn't matter what kind of f-stop you use later in the studio, but it is important that the background light is 1.5 or 2 f-stops brighter than your filling light, your key light from the front. So that's really important. Yeah, you have to exposure, and that's really nice. That's cool. A cool tip. So write down. Backlight have to be 1.5 or 2 f-stops. Background light have to be 1.5 or 2 f-stops brighter.
means that your backdrop needs to be metered to around f11 to f13 at ISO 100 in order to actually overexpose the backdrop so you get that pure white.
Yeah.
If that backdrop isn't actually overexposed, it's going to fall to a light gray and you're not going to get that pure white look. If you go above that, if you start getting into 3 or 4 stops and you just hammer it with light, you're going to get this weird ghosting effect where the light starts wrapping around and it makes it.
Yeah, not only the ghosting effects, and also all burn out, so you don't have any more structure in the picture, and yeah, that looks not good. So don't go too low, don't go too high. But I think when you go a little bit low, you can be also really creative with it. So I'm thinking right now really to do the same, a little bit different. And I like the most of these light setups I saw before is that they don't use the umbrellas, so they use then strip lights. But strip light, you have the problem. A strip light is a harder light and is not so filling light like the umbrella. And yeah, to use a soft light as the background light is a really good idea because you have a really filling light over the whole space of the backdrop. With a strip light, you have then all not the whole filled, so that's also not nice for the image. So really cool that he used here for the background light these umbrellas.
Everything feel very, very soft. So you can't overexpose it by too much, but you have to definitely overexpose it by enough to get that pure white backdrop. Now, when it comes to actually lighting the backdrop, my modifier of choice is a medium umbrella. Now, the reason for this is it gives you a perfect broad throw of light, so you're getting even lighting across.
Also, what is I have to say on a medium umbrella, or these umbrellas, they are not so expensive like octaboxes or some other modifiers. So umbrellas really good invest. I guess mine costs around 100 euro, and yeah, they live forever. When you take care of them, they live good. So you buy umbrella, really nice light.
The entire backdrop, but the modifiers aren't so large that they're getting in the way of the setup, and they're really easy to carry from one location to another. And lastly, you want to angle the umbrellas so that you're getting proper coverage over your entire backdrop.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't angle them so much that that light is hitting directly on.
That's the point. Don't angle them too much. You have to think about if you would play pool or billiard. Here you see it. You have to angle them. You have to think about this is your ball, and then you hit the ball. The ball go to the backdrop, and then go back to the model. So this is the angle what you have to choose for the umbrellas. That you have the perfect filling light in the back of the model. This is the point, and yeah, exactly. Don't over angle it. Just look that, or just make sure that the light hits the model from the back when it's reflect from the backdrop.
With this look. Now, with that being said, you are actually going to get some kickback from that white backdrop onto your model. That's going to cause these little highlights on various parts that are turned towards the backdrop. And the way to control that is the distance from the model to the backdrop. Now,
exactly the distance to the model. When you make a shorter distance, then you have also to go with less power out of the flash, so they're not 1.5 f-stops brighter than maybe 1. But yeah, this is not so.
Personally like to keep my model around 2 to 3 feet
so far
from the backdrop, so I get little hints of that rim light. I just feel like it adds to the overall look of the portrait, but again, it's a personal preference and you can adjust that as needed. And finally, for my key light, I'm using a 47-inch deep octa with the parabolic arm from Stro Pro. And this is honestly one of my favorite modifiers.
Yeah, that's also a really nice. I don't have exactly the same modifier, but what I love on these deep modifiers is these deep modifiers make a really nice soft light, but direct light. So you get really direct light and you can really good adjust this light. And this deep modifier, I love them. That's really good stuff.
I own. It just combines this beautiful soft light with the
Yes.
indirect light that's happening from the light firing into the modifier, then coming back out. But it also combines with the hardness that you get from not having any diffusion.
It's not really a hardness for me. It's more direct. I don't would call it harder. It's more direct, but it's a beautiful light. Really nice. A soft, direct light. You can produce so much nice dynamic on your images. That's really nice.
Material on the modifier itself. So you get this beautiful mix of soft meets hard lighting that just adds these beautiful little accents to the skin. And just every time I use it, I'm blown away by how amazing the light looks coming out of this modifier. And I can never figure out why I don't use it more often. I mean, honestly, one of the reasons I don't use it more often is it's kind of a pain in the ass to put together. But honestly, every time I do, I'm just like blown away by how beautiful the light is that comes out of it. But
look at him, how happy he is about the
all three of these lights
modifier.
together.
So
this is what
really
it ends
nice.
up looking like.
Yeah, this is a perfect example for a really nice high key. And it doesn't matter now. It gives a lot of people, they say a high key have to be, for the whole picture, it have to be white like this. No, the floor is not too shining like this. Because, yeah, a floor is a floor and a back is a back, and this is perfect. If you want that the floor also is shiny like the backdrop and light and stuff like this, then just adjust the backdrop modifier a little bit more down, or maybe put the model a little bit closer to the backdrop. But I like actually this capture. I love it. Really nice. Nice music.
So now let's take those three lights and create another high key portrait that just has a little bit more mood to it. Now, I'm still using the same medium umbrella.
I like actually what I see, because I know now this gives a really good image. And this is what, for me, is light and shadow so important on an image, on a portrait. And then you can also see way more better the emotions. So really cool. We see the umbrellas again, and here umbrella with a diffuser, but yeah, that's also a really nice filling, soft, direct light. And I'm really looking forward now to see the results
on my backdrop that are overexposing the backdrop by about 1 to 1.5 stops.
Also, a big thing is the backdrop is now only a backdrop, so it is not white on the floor, because everything what white is reflect. And if would the backdrop, if she would stand on the backdrop on a white floor, then she would get also light from the floor, or a reflection from the floor. So is it more moody, more dynamic?
Ups over my key light, so I'm getting that pure white background. Now, for my key light, I've opted for a large umbrella with the diffusion panel attached. Now, what this diffusion panel does is it actually softens the transition from my highlights to my shadows. Now, not only that, I've taken the umbrella and I've brought it around more to the side of the model. Now, what this does is it creates more shadow in the sides of her face and body.
Yeah.
And shadow is one of the things that I use to create drama in a portrait. It just adds a little bit more depth. It adds a little bit more intrigue. It makes things a little bit more interesting. So with that modifier slightly off to the side, using the exact same 3-light setup, well, this is what the images end up looking like.
Nice, nice, nice. Look at this image. That's awesome. That's really awesome. You have a really moody image. You have so much dynamic in this image. You have light, shadow. Something happened on this image. That's so, so nice. I love this. And the model, of course, perfect expression, perfect with the hair, with the outfit. Everything fits on this image for me. And it's a fucking nice black and white capture. Yeah, awesome. Also here with the expressions. Really nice. Love it. And yeah, that's easy. Also here you need a really good model to get really nice images, nice poses, nice expressions in the face and everything. And then you get so nice images. Really, really well job, Nathan.
Now, this final image is definitely the most dramatic and moody of
Yeah.
them all, and it's because I'm actually using the backdrop as my key light. So I'm still using those medium umbrellas and I'm firing them into the backdrop, but I'm using the light that's coming from the backdrop as my key. So that light is hitting my backdrop and it's wrapping around my model.
Yeah. When you use this, then you get really nice silhouette images. So you don't see, when you only use the umbrellas here for the backdrop, then you have a really nice silhouette of the model, and that's really, really nice because that's then a mix between high and low key. That's really cool. But I guess that's not all, because here we see another umbrella far away from the model. I think that's a kind of filling light, but we see what he do.
Now, if I didn't add any more light except for that background light, I would end up with this silhouette effect. And that's not really
Exactly.
what I was going for. I still want to be able to see my model.
Yeah, but still also nice. Also only the silhouette image is really nice, and yeah, can be also really dramatic, really nice. And yeah, that's really cool.
Model. So I've taken that large deep umbrella with the
Yeah.
diffusion panel attached and I've brought it further back in the studio and I'm just adding a little bit of fill light back into my image just to bring out some of those details. Now, the reason I have the light so far back is so that I get a perfectly even throw of light from her head down to her toes that's just filling in the areas evenly that are otherwise going to fall into complete darkness. And I only want to add in just enough light so you can still make out her body and her form, and she's not essentially turning into a silhouette. You're still getting to see the details, but it's still sort of this
I wanna see
really
it, I
dark
wanna
meets
see it.
really light type of portrait. So with that, when you combine these three lights, again, this is what it ends up looking like.
Yes. Oh, nice. Really nice. Yep. I love what I see. You see now really good what the backlight do, also the reflection light from the two umbrellas. It come here, you have here a heart shape, really hard shape, and look, the light goes into the other shoulder. You know, that's still the same light here in the décolleté area, or here on the shoulder area, on the neck, on the face, here on the eye. That's really cool. And here you have to use a really dark paint. Let's look. It was a normal jeans. Yeah, it was a normal jeans, but it eat enough light that it looked in later black. So that's really cool. And you see now with the filling light, this is all the filling light. So this is still from the backdrop. This is from the backdrop. Here, this is from the backdrop. But the filling light make only show a little bit more the model. That's not so intensive. It would be nice, maybe we see only the silhouette light without the fill light. Would be interesting. But yeah, nice captures. Nice job, Nathan. Yeah, awesome.
And so there you have it. That's 3 ways that I use 3 light setups to create various high key portraits.
Also, a really good light what he set for himself. Really cool. So yeah, really
And
nice.
make sure that if you guys use any of this information, you send me a link. I don't know, use the comments, hit me an email, whatever it is. I'd love to see what you guys create with the information that I provide to you. But with that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.
Cheers. Perfect. Nah, it's perfect. Really nice. Really nice video from Nathan Elson. I love the. Now I have to share the advertise, or I can maybe.
Accents to the skin. And just every time it does is it actually.
This was my favorite light, to be honest. So this is really cool. This is this is really cool. I want to try this self in the studio. But maybe I take here another umbrella. Maybe I take, this is what for me now interesting. Maybe I don't take an umbrella, so maybe I take this light This is also soft and direct. It's a little bit more direct than this umbrella light. So I want to do this. I want to check this out, and I want to look what kind of images I create. So I only need a model to check this, and maybe I go then also live on Twitch and make then other kind of reaction video to this video what Nathan did, and show him maybe my results. So that's really interesting. And of course, when you see the results, so it's amazing. It's mind blowing. It's cool. A really pretty model. Really nice expressions. Really nice poses. Sexy, cool. Has his own charm. Really nice. Love it. So I hope you love it also. And this light setup is for sure saved in the brain and is now on the bucket list.